What's your take on LinkedIn? Has it been successful for you?
He's $100 million producer in the mortgage industry, and I got that from the LinkedIn campaign I'm currently running using your softwares.
What are some of the mistakes you made when you first started doing cold outreach?
If you say the right message to the wrong people, you're not going to get that great of a response.
What are some of the things you're excited about trying to improve your cold outreach further?
So the AI, without being trained, does a very decent job, but I think I can tighten it up more by...
Hello, everyone, and welcome to SalesRobot Customer of the Week, a new show where we interview the best SalesRobot customers and go deep into their process with hot tips around targeting, messaging, and personalization that you can take away and implement in your cold outreach starting tomorrow. Today, we have Jason from Nexa Mortgage. Welcome to the show, Jason.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Awesome. So let's get right into it. What does your business do and how do you make money?
Absolutely. So I'm a mortgage loan originator, and I've been doing this for about 25 years. And part of my duties as a loan originator is recruiting for my company. So the main part of my marketing on LinkedIn is recruiting for additional loan officers and real estate agents and possible loans. So that's pretty much the cold outreach that I utilize your software and LinkedIn for.
Awesome. So what's your take on LinkedIn? Has it been successful for you overall? Like, I'm not just talking about SalesRobot. Like, what's your take on LinkedIn?
LinkedIn, I love. I still have business that I developed on LinkedIn 5 years ago. One of the campaigns that I was running many years ago was a VA loan campaign. And to this day, I'm working with a gentleman that gives me probably at least a few deals every year from that campaign. So it's I can't say enough about it. I'm working with a gentleman that is thinking about coming over to Nexa. He's $100 million producer in the mortgage industry, which is a big player. And I got that from the LinkedIn campaign I'm currently running using your software. So I think LinkedIn is a great platform, depending on what your market is. They're all there. Real estate agents, loan officers, potential loans for customers. My target is all over LinkedIn. So I love LinkedIn. I think it's a great platform.
Awesome. So let's now get into the campaign that got you here. Unfortunately, the account that it ran on, I think that's deleted, Chris's account. So we'll pick one of yours, right? So you have some great campaigns on there as well, which have similar reply rates. So let me pick one that you ran on your own account. So I think this was one that did fairly well. I think you ran it about 2 years ago, almost a 36% response rate, which is phenomenal, right? Average response rate to these campaigns is typically 10 to 20%. So it's way above average. So first of all, congrats on a campaign like this.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I mean, a campaign like that obviously starts with the target. I used a software called Modex. It's a database full of loan officers that are producing, and I can pull that data and bring it right into your software and target those people on LinkedIn. So it was highly targeted, which is obviously the first step in having a successful campaign. And then secondly, use Chat GPT to create the campaigns.
Okay.
And then I used your software to optimize the campaigns inside of SalesRobot. So for instance, Chat gave me this prompt, and then you see your side panel that gives you the percentage. I actually copied that into my AI software and said, give me a better scores all across the board. And so I would just go back and forth until it optimized to a decent rate. And I did that through each of the correspondents. So it had a higher return rate according to your software, because your software is a gamut across all different kinds of campaigns. It really knows what LinkedIn customers are to see in the outreach. So I utilize that tremendously with the AI to create and optimize the outreach. So yeah, it was a perfect strategy to make it work.
Yeah, no, I love that. I mean, and you can see that in the final copy as well, because you're just being friendly. You're just saying, thanks for connecting, came across your info MMI. So you're giving them a clear reason of your outreach. And I guess MMI is the Mortix database that you were talking about.
Correct. Yep.
Got it. And I think that Nexa would be a great home for a top tier mortgage pro. We offer unique opportunities. I mean, I love this message. I think that's why it works so well.
Yeah, and I'm experimenting right now with your AI functionality. So far, I love it. It's when I'm not available to jump into the conversation, it's taking over. And with some of the communication that I would have missed, it's engaging. So it's really saving me time and effort and not always to have to be right there to take over the conversation. AI is just handling it for me and saying just the right things. And I love it. It's a great addition to the platform.
Yeah, for everybody who's listening, we didn't pay Jason to say this. This is all unprompted, so I really appreciate it. Yeah, we were always trying to push the envelope and really make it like extremely useful for you. And I think AI is one of those features, especially the AI reply, AI inbox manager, that really helps you, stay on top of your leads, make sure you're following up enough times and really, push them to the next step. So definitely that's a great, addition to the entire workflow.
Yeah, I mean, we're all have a primary business and we're focused on that, and we can't always jump from that over to LinkedIn and handle a conversation on LinkedIn. So it's a very helpful tool to be able to grab those conversations while they're engaging. So it's not like they cool off and you handle it, when you get a break. They're being engaged in the moment. So, as we all know, speed to lead is a viable part of any lead campaign. So, you want to definitely make sure engagement is happening in real time, and your AI tool is effective at doing that, which is incredibly handy for somebody like myself.
Awesome. So let's talk about your follow-up messaging then. This was the first one, and you sent, I think, a personalized message as well with like a phone, photo. What is this about?
Yeah, so Hyperize is a third-party software that allows integration into SalesRobot. So it's always nice to personalize a messaging when you're doing outreach. So this grabs the person's name and drops it into this message, and it personalizes the message for them. And I get a lot of responses of people say, "Hey, that's really cool. I like what you did." And it's a conversation starter. So that's kind of the useful tool that you guys integrate, allow us to integrate these third-party tools to create those conversations. So yeah, it's really effective in allowing that first conversation and breaking through the ice with a new prospect.
Awesome. So that's on the first message. So let's go to the next one. So you wait 3 days and you send this one. So talk me through this.
So it's also talking to them about where we got the information from, about different things that my company has to offer for their particular situation. It's presenting them with an idea to possibly jump on a Zoom. I have a presentation that I provide them that takes them a walkthrough of the journey, highlighting different things that Nexa has to offer that other companies do not. And it's just another process to try to engage them and jump on a call or a Zoom call, which is even more effective. Video is like 5 times more effective than just a telephone. So I definitely try to get them into a Zoom call prior to a phone call. Just face to face is everything, in my opinion. You get to see people, you get to look into their eyes. Back in the old days when I was recruiting face to face, you got to sit across the table from somebody. But in this day and age, you're not able to do that. But the next best thing is Zoom. So it's, very valuable in recruiting.
That's awesome. What I love about this message is you're actually giving them a couple of options. You're doing the YNXA Zoom meeting, the weekly one, so they can, just join in if they want to. If they, are really interested, they want to learn more, you're giving them an option to just do a, brief call one-on-one. So I love this kind of optionality when you're reaching out to somebody because it suits their style, right? Like if they want to do the weekly thing, fine, jump on. If not, get on a call.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in any type of marketing, you always want to give them at least two choices. Do you want to do this or do you want to do that? So their mind's not set to yes or no. They're picking which one. So it's a good strategy to use when you're doing cold outreach like this.
In general, I mean, one of the things we did recently is we changed our pricing plans. We only used to have like a $99 per month single plan and we would have everything. We introduced 3 plans at 59, 79, 99, and our close rates went up immediately, right? Because it was not about, whether should I buy SalesRobot or not, even after a very good free trial. It's like which one, right? So it's like a psychology hack, definitely.
Yeah, no, it's very valuable to have different options, especially One that's not is in your face, which is the discovery call that you could just join a Zoom call and, hey, be a wallflower and hang out on the side and not say anything, or a direct interaction with me, the recruiter, and have that direct one-on-one conversation. So it's two levels of interaction. One, you don't have to be really hands-on. The other one's face-to-face. So it's nice to have those two different options. And people do both, you know? There's some people that just want to hear the general information and they'll go to the Thursday call. And on that Thursday call, the owner of the company is speaking to everybody and, no questions are off limits. So people like that idea too.
Awesome. So let's go into the next one. So you send this one, I think 5 days after the last one. So you're backing off a little bit. You're saying, okay, he or she didn't reply to this one. Let's look at this message then. So you're again talking about their production numbers, which is great. You're telling them that they're thriving, which is awesome, right? You're just trying to really showcase why you're reaching out. And then the call to action is retail to Nexa. Talk me about this. Talk me through this. Decide to offer this one.
So we offer a very valuable enrollment tool. We actually will fly you out to a location where we have this huge auditorium with the presentation. We pay for your airfare, your transportation, your hotel, and we really put on a valuable production.
Yeah.
So this Retail the Next event is a huge tool. I think we have an 87% enrollment rate when people go to that event. So it's a very powerful event. And so it's just another option besides the Thursday call and the one-on-one call. So it's just another option for them. And it's very expensive for us. We want to make sure that they're a viable prospect in coming on board with Nexa. So, I mean, we did our homework on them with the data, so we know that they're doing a good job. We're not just saying that they're thriving.
Yeah.
We know that the numbers are telling us that. So, and the thing is, be truthful. In your outreach, don't say anything that is not accurate or not truthful because you'll be called out. And energy doesn't lie; it's bad energy put out there to saying things that aren't accurate. So,
Absolutely.
wanna-
Absolutely. No, I love this message. Let's talk about the next one. So again, I think just rehashing the retail to Nexa event because it's an effective event for you.
Yep.
Makes
Yep.
sense.
Absolutely.
Finally, and you're double tapping almost. So you're sending after 5 and then one more day later. So the retail to Nexa one gets a double tap almost. And then the other one. I understand your schedule might be hectic, want to respect your time. There's more time convenient for you. And then you're doing the Cookie Monster GIF.
Yep.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yep.
I love this sequence. I love this entire thing. So thanks for
Yeah, I mean, it's great to have it, like a journey for somebody. And the graphics help just because it's a fun thing for people to see because there's a lot of people doing outreach on LinkedIn, face it, in my industry especially.
yeah.
So to have something stand out for yourself is super valuable. And it's nice that you guys can integrate with this third party that does these personalized messaging, which really helps that engagement.
Awesome. So no, that was a very informative campaign. That's probably my favorite episode that I've recorded, and I've recorded one every week since the start of 2025. I think the tactics are spot on. Okay, now let's talk about your journey a little bit. What are some of the mistakes you made when you first started doing cold outreach?
I've made a lot of mistakes and I've been doing it for a long time. So, I mean, where do I start? I think a lot of it was poor targeting in the beginning. I didn't have the right data to focus on. That is huge because if you say the right message to the wrong people, you're not going to get that great of a response. Getting the data, getting the right data. I've used your software to go inside of LinkedIn and grab data from there too, which is effective as well. The only reason I don't like that is because I don't know their closing numbers. I don't know the loan officers, how much business they do. It's almost like a blind grab of loan officers. So that's why I kind of shifted to the Modex or MMI is to grab the data I know they're closing and focus my messaging to those people that I know that they would be a perfect fit for Nexa. So targeting was a big thing at the beginning. The other thing was the proper messaging. I'm not a writer, and nor do I want to be a writer. So messaging especially with the advancement with the AI, really supported me to tighten my messaging, and your software where it kind of gives you an idea of what the ratings are for your messaging. So I use that in conjunction to tighten things up, and that really supported a better response rate. And engagement. So that was a big deal. I just turned on your AI feature probably a week and a half ago. So far, so good. It's awesome. Yeah, one thing that I probably should do is do the Copilot version of it, where because that probably trains it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so I should probably do that, but I've been so busy with other things that I just flipped the switch on my own account just to kind of see what it was doing, and I was very impressed. It did everything that you would want it to do. The only thing that I would train it to do is possibly give them my calendar link
Yeah.
or something in that regard. It was, and it's following up with the people that communicated last week that they wanted to talk to me, and it's following up and say, "Hey, are you you ready?" And this and that. So I love that. And I think it's gonna grow on me as I implement it even more so. So yeah, so that's been my journey. I'm a tech geek, so I love technology. And so I love learning and figuring things out. Your software is so simple and easy to implement. It makes it so much easier. So uh,
Awesome. On to my final question then. What are some of the things you're excited about trying to improve your cold outage further?
like I just mentioned, is the training of your AI to specifically engage in my clients. The AI without being trained does good. It does a very decent job, but I think I can tighten it up more by really specifically telling it exactly what I would say if I was, you know, engaging. The only reason I didn't want to do that is because it's engaging in real time. It takes time for me to get to LinkedIn and approve whatever messaging that your AI is saying. So I just flipped the switch and it's doing full AI right now. But what I committed to do once I get a little time on my hands is to flip it to Copilot where I could help it learn how I do business a little better. I think that's the right move to do. If you have time, that's what I would do.
Awesome. That is all the time we have today, Jason. I really enjoyed our conversation. If people want to find you online, where can they find you?
You can go to nexamortgage.net, N-E-T. That's my website, and that gives you all the information about what Nexa is, and my calendar's on there if you want to book some time with me. I'm an open book. I want everybody to be successful, not just if you're in my industry, but in any industry, because when I contribute to people and they do better, I know I get that in return. So I help everybody, and if you have more questions about the software, I'm an open book. Like I said, I'd be happy to help anybody that's interested. Please feel free.
That's awesome, Jason. Thank you so much again for doing this.
All right. It was a good pleasure. It was a pleasure meeting you. And thank you for every week you have updates on your software. It's fun. It's exciting to me to get that email and read what you did and, start using it. So